showtime. We are back.
Hi.
Hi, as the chat. Thank you to everyone who's been staying and hanging out with us. We appreciate you immensely. How is everyone?
Yeah, so how about that first comment we got from a random?
I know, dude.
Like, we got a comment that just went, I'm going to rape your families.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the heck?
What?
All right.
Okay, fun
like-
fact, I don't have that up at all. I don't have the chat or anything. So, like, I didn't see nothing.
No, that was during the first episode that we
was
were
the first
recording.
episode.
That was the very first episode we did on.
Yeah, don't worry. Your family's safe.
I mean, for now, until, you know.
I mean, I'm just going to say,
destroy my
like,
siblings and sell them.
we've done like 6 episodes, and the first time we get that, it's in my channel. I'm just going to say, that's just... like, what the hell?
Come on.
One of those things,
I'm
man.
just going to throw this up there right now. Hang on, where is it? Where is that emote? There you go.
One of those
And
things.
one of
Yeah,
these.
Dinko definitely caught that one very quickly. I was
Oh,
just about to
Dinko
say
was
that, and he got it.
well quick on that.
Yeah.
It was all
I'm glad
Oh.
Dinko had to catch that.
He's the best.
Oh, don't say that.
He's all right. He's all
He's
right.
going to get big head
Everyone's
now.
like,
Yeah, now we're-
He's all right. He's all right.
So,
I mean, we swore to
Dinko
never do a
had-
Star Wars
Dinko had a
podcast,
question for you, Val.
uh-oh.
What
is?
Where is it? How much Star Wars content have you watched?
Oh my god, really?
That's a very broad question.
Hey, he popped a semi when Val said about the Windows 95 game.
This is true.
Yeah, he did.
Said
He
in the chat.
It was like,
literally,
there was
as soon as
another
that,
person that bought that game.
Wait,
literally,
what?
as
I
soon
was the only
as soon as that was mentioned, did she say Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I love him. Oh my god, he's such a sweetheart. Actually, so like me watching on Twitch the like Star Wars content or seeing all the movies or episodes,
Yes.
you could say.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Just
seen
yes
them
to
all.
all. Just yes to all. Yeah.
He will watch.
Oh
you know
yeah, no,
everything.
I absolutely no. I've seen every episode since I was a child. I have the original box set of VHSs.
Oh, me
making
too,
up-
actually.
Darth
Careful,
Vader's face.
careful! You don't excite him too much.
Yeah.
He's simping.
Dingo's in.
He's simping.
No, no, I am a Star Wars kid. I grew up with Star Wars in my veins, Zelda, and Harry Potter. Those are like the top 3.
Nice.
Like, inject me now. Like, that was my everything. Especially with my dad, us like repairing our relationship because of the whole divorce I mentioned earlier. A lot of it was
sending you a
through Harry
medical
Potter, but yeah, but like most of it was actually Star Wars. Star Wars is what started the nerddom like in me was Star Wars. Star Wars is like baseline for me growing up.
Okay.
There you go,
I still
Dinko.
remember
Sim
the,
fantasy,
yeah.
man.
There you go.
the OG Star Wars before they photoshopped
Before they
in
became
Hayden Christensen
Wow.
at the end of episode
What a question for this.
6.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
All right, so this has asked, if you could delete a Pokemon from any game, which one would it be?
Ooh.
There are some Pokemon that are absolute trash,
Magikarp.
so I do get that. I do get that.
Wait, but Magikarp goes into Gyarados, right? So why would you want to get rid of that?
Why would you just not have Gyarados? Why would you have Magikarp and then Gyarados? Why just cut out the middleman?
Isn't it the starting form,
Just
though?
to show that you can be the worst
don't
thing
have to
in the
have a
world,
starting
and then
form.
evolve, and
Oh,
then
okay.
to be. No, it's to prove
Very
that you can be
best
one of the
at
worst
every
things
life.
ever, and then yeah, exactly, you could be one of the best ones ever.
No.
This is a really hard question.
Can I just get rid of Ash? Could that just be my...
I was thinking of Sims. Oh, oh, damn.
I tell you, oh God,
Diz.
it's not one in particular. Go on.
Diz, before you answer, I will admit you really nearly shook me earlier on when you said that Red in the manga was Ash. It's like, no, dude, no, they're different characters. Fuck
No.
off.
Ash was or Red was the rival.
No, I said Ash was red. I didn't say
Yeah,
red was
no.
Ash.
Luke
Same thing, but
Skywalker
no.
was Darth Vader's brother?
Okay. Well, no, they're different characters.
I would say in terms of how good the original evolution is in Psyduck, one of the ones I would get rid of is Golduck. I think Golduck's pretty
Yeah.
useless.
He was never my favorite, unfortunately.
Like, if I ever had a Psyduck, I would never evolve it. But then that's the same with Raichu. I never wanted a Raichu because everyone loved Pikachu. Like, Pikachu was the man.
Diz, I'm just gonna say, Dinko is literally starting war with you right now because of what he
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. That son of a bitch can go watch some Star Trek.
Star Trek!
Oh, he pitches tent for Star Trek. We know he does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, Star Trek is also a part of my nerddom too. I grew up with my dad being obsessed with. Okay, so my dad, as you guys can tell, is
Same.
where my nerdiness comes from.
Right.
Always, the Space Channel was always on, so we always watched. Oh, geez. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. My new landlord just sent me an email, and I'm like, I have to open that, but it's fine. I'll do it later.
I thought that was like an OnlyFans you accidentally clicked on. Oh my god, the feature.
Like, you accepted your request. You can open up your account. No. Sadly. Oh my gosh, if we could talk about like OnlyFans and like I have a lot of useless information I know about weird stuff. Like, anyways. So Star Trek was also part of my growing upness as a kid. Star Trek was always part of that. Star Wars, Star Trek. Stargate was another one. Was
Stargate
really...
SG-1. Yeah.
Yes, I love Stargate. The concept was so cool. Even as a kid, I was like, "That is freaking awesome!" Like, what? Anyways, so I totally Star Wars, Star Trek. I feel like everyone. It's. I feel like a lot of people, especially growing up in the 80s and 90s, like we were kind of, the frontiers of the final frontiers of the. We're the first sort of people who like, really. We're like proud of that geekdom, and we're so like, space is so cool. Let's make more space stuff, and it's just so awesome that like everyone kind of like Star Wars and everyone kind of like Star Trek. You know what I mean? And everyone has that like, if you're a nerd, you kind of like, you just like all of that.
Firefly.
Yeah, love Firefly.
It may only be 14 episodes, but that pisses all over the entire Star Trek franchise, all over the entire Star Wars franchise. I will fight a motherfucker. I will stab a motherfucker, Val.
Final Party 3 right now. That's what the level we're at.
I actually just recently rewatched all of Firefly. It's really not that hard. It will take about 2 days.
Yeah.
I've never actually watched it.
Oh, dude,
it's so good.
I'm
planning on doing that in parallel to Buffy.
It's basically cowboys in space. That's
So
what
Cowboy
Firefly-
Bebop live action.
No, not really.
I've never seen Cowboy Bebop either, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Ooh, speaking of anime, any
Anime.
like favorite animes? Anyone currently watching anything like really good? I need
Depends.
more.
Nope.
What was the last thing you watched?
Attack on Titan.
Ugh.
Like season 3,
Not for
part
me,
1?
but-
Or...
Oh my god, this is the first time I've ever got such a negative reaction.
I like Attack on Titan. I'm very behind on it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not for
I'm
me.
more like,
Style of anime.
what season did you last watch? Was it season 3's been split into 2? That's why. That's why I'm asking, like, what did you last watch then? Was it season
everything.
2?
I've every
Oh, you're up to
episode.
date. Okay.
Yeah, I have not read the manga. Manga.
Either or.
Manga.
Mango.
What my brother has, mango, and he, and he's like sort of spoiled some of it for me because I asked. He had to reassure me like 1,000 times, like, "Are you sure you want to know?" And I'm like, "You better fucking tell me, bitch." I'm like, "Don't make this a Mario Party 3 situation right now." And I swear to God. And I'm like, "Just tell me, like, I need to know just a couple things." And he goes, "If I tell you a couple things, it's gonna unravel like a lot of things." And I was like, fucking lay it on me, let's do this. And like he told me a lot of the manga, like what kind of happens. And what I can say right now, if you're not maybe a fan or it's maybe too slow or too whatever for you right now, I'm telling you, as of now, as of this point forward, it's gonna get fucking nuts. And I'm so excited because it's finally starting. Like this is now, we're finally in the beginning of the story. So if anyone is of the actual storyline of like what's gonna happen, like there was so much slow build up and the anime is so good for that. Don't get me wrong. But now that I know like what's coming up, like all of that was like filler compared to what's happening.
What's happening,
So you can honestly, if you have to, just for the first, I guess, 3 seasons of the anime, if you want to read, I guess, like a synopsis of like, okay, we found out this, sure, go ahead and do that. However, from here on out, it should, disclaimer, asterisk, should be better now. So should get better, should be more kick-ass, it should be a lot more like bloody and fighting and all that fun stuff. So here's to hoping.
Yeah.
There's my plug.
That's the plug, the Attack on Titan plug. But if you're looking for animes to watch currently, if you haven't watched Tower of God, that just recently finished, it was only 13 episodes, but that's definitely worth watching. It's it's a Korean webtoon / manga. And it's,
what's that?
Tower of God.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like it's only 13 episodes, but the manga is like so far ahead in comparison to what they did with the anime. But to get you into it, to see where they were going, the 13 episodes are so well done, and it's just awesome. Definitely worth.
I love when a series is just not like Bleach. You know what I mean? When
Bleach.
Don't get me wrong. Everyone like hates and loves Bleach because of so many freaking reasons, all the same reason. But like, damn, when you can find like a really good anime that the creators have like thrown their all into it, and they just make it like 13 episodes, but they're like just so damn good, and the quality is just, it's not like Dragon Ball Z that goes on for 14 episodes of someone charging up a Kamehameha to kill somebody else. And don't get me wrong, I love my Dragon Ball Z. A kid grew up on Dragon Ball Z and Inuyasha and shit.
Yeah.
However, when you find a good quality anime, it's just when it
comes to that, it's more like what you're into, how many episodes you're willing to sit through to watch it. Because obviously every season will have 1 or 2 fillers, and you're like, wait, what does this have to do with anything? And you're like, okay, but there are there are a few out there. Like Tower of God's probably the most recent one this year that a lot of people were hyped up for. Starting, what was it, this week or last week? I think it was last week. This week, God of High School, which is another very well-known Korean manga / webtoon, has come out, and I've been reading that since it came out, and I'm loving it. But
you've been telling me to read that for 9 years, and I've been forgetting for 9 years.
9 years. How long have all of you known each other for?
Me and Lance, 21 years.
20 years, over 20 years.
20
years.
Yeah.
I've known Tex for about
15.
8. Yeah, I've known Tex for about 8 because we met going to Japan. Senpai, I've known.
If Diz points out his window, he can see me.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, hello.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh my god, guys, that's so amazing. Actually, bringing up Japan, for Canada right now, a round flight trip to Japan is like less than $600.
Let's go. You mean
so,
Book it.
Book
and
it.
So many people are
I've just had my Greece holiday payment come through. I'm getting a tax rebate this week.
Same. I just got mine done from Dominican. $3,000 back in my pocket. Like, oh man. And so fuck. Don't get me started on that. It's a whole other messy story as well.
No money for
the
whole of lockdown. It's quite nice.
Oh yeah, motherfuck. Like all of lockdown, like that $3,000 could have really helped, but no, my credit card was like you. However, the Japan trip, I've been as many of us being young kids are very much like, hey, like, we've always want to go see Japan and go visit. Even as a kid, you're just getting into like the Japanese culture and anime and reading and whatever. And, having the opportunity now, finally, it's like, holy crap, it's coming true. However, it had to take a pandemic and the world to almost end for me to go to my hopefully favorite place on earth. It's like Disneyland for me. And
there is a Disneyland there if you want to go.
There was a Disneyland.
Yeah.
There's Air, this sea, and then there's I forgot what the third one's called. Was Phenom mentioned it to me? They opened up a third one recently, and I forgot what the third one's called.
Wow.
Although I think end of this year they're gonna finish Super Mario Land.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And then I think it's either already in production or the end of the year they're going to start production on Studio Ghibli Land.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. Yeah, Ghibli Land. Yeah, end of the year.
I might just I guess I'm going to have to go back a second time. Like,
excuse to go
back. I mean, why would you deny yourself that? You're obviously like, oh, obviously Japan wants me to come back. Who am I to say no? You know, the stars
I
are
have-
aligned.
Obviously, the first time that you go, you've still got the Ghibli Museum at least, so you've got
Oh,
that to
that's
go to.
exactly what. Yeah,
I
exactly.
loved it to death.
I rewatched Howl's
my
Moving Castle last night. I'm like, I love this story. I missed it so much. Oh my gosh, Studio Ghibli! Don't even get me started on the obsession with that whole franchise. Like, oh,
Okay, I won't.
talk
Yeah.
about masterpiece. Ooh,
Oh,
Mm.
no, hey,
Oh,
I'm there. I'm there.
yeah, I'm so
I-
happy you guys are.
Like I Totoro is one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh, so sweet.
My
It's so
absolute it's just a beautiful film that you can watch again and again and Spirited
is,
Away.
It's a
Mononoke.
studio that I never got into, but since
Mononoke,
they came up
yep.
on Netflix,
Yeah,
I've added all of them to my watch list. I just haven't got around.
I
Oh, now that's on Netflix,
haven't managed
right?
to
Yeah.
watch them properly.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke is probably by far my favorite one
Oh.
out of all of them.
See,
Oh, she's like the
I've
more-
seen several like top 10 films of all times, and Princess Mononoke has been on there at least 4 of them, and I definitely,
Yep.
it is just one of those. I need to watch it, but
Spirited Away is a good one, Dinko. Dinko's
Oh.
put in the chat that Spirited
Yeah.
Away is his favorite. Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's a good one
I've
too.
heard Spirited
That was
Away
like-
is
Spirited
good
Away-
as well.
That was like the first anime no, it was the first anime to win an Oscar, wasn't it, as well?
Oscar or Grammy or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like awards. Award
It won a
winning.
load of
Mononoke win one as
awards.
No.
No. Mononoke, I think, was what put it on the map, like that
Right. Okay.
that
okay.
series of films on the
You
map.
like
But then-
this, you'll like that.
yeah, but Spirited Away was the one that people were like, this needs to be nominated for an Oscar, and then it was like, it won an Oscar. And I was working in Blockbuster and I went, yeah, anime rules, suck it, douches.
Yeah, for real. Oh
Put
my
it on
gosh.
all
And
of the
you know what?
screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Howl's Moving Castle is like that for me. I can that and Spirited Away. I don't know how they've done it, and it's just so magical. But you can rewatch them, and you can learn something each time you rewatch it. Like you catch something else, or you get an Easter egg, or like you learn about this character's background just a little bit more. If you just pay attention, you just listen to like what the background characters are talking about. You figure out, oh shit, okay, they're talking about this, and I know what's gonna happen later. This is who this character they're talking about, which I didn't catch in the first time I watched it. I love movies like that. I love movies where you can keep watching them and you learn every single time something new.
Yep.
Yeah. That's when you
See,
get it.
I've only ever caught parts of all different Ghibli movies like Porco Rosso, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. All of those I've only ever really caught parts of. But I would probably say, from all the bits that I've seen, out of all of them, I'd probably have to say that my favorite one is probably Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, that's a
Just
damn
because it
good
seems
one.
one of the most fun ones.
Yeah. I thought you were going to
Yeah,
say, like, I've watched them all, put them together, and I had a weird mashup of Studio Ghibli, and it was amazing.
Amazing. Oh,
It was
Just watch
Howl's Moving Castle with Mononoke.
just
amazing.
16 screens piled up, all playing all the movies at once.
Oh, that's like a dream. Like,
I'll tell you one thing, though,
Excited.
back to the Ghibli Museum, though. When I went there a couple of years ago, and I was walking through it, there's that one bit where there's a booth of the Totoro in the back, and I was like, man, that's Diz. Reminds me of Diz so much. And then just walking around the place, it was like we got there quite early, so it was like we were one of the first few people in there to check it out. But because it was summer and it was like the holiday period for the kids in Japan,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go get me a drink from the cafe. The minute I walked outside, there's a queue going around. I'm like, I don't have time for this. So I was like,
Yeah.
it was like, I don't have time for this. I was like, let me go get an ice cream instead. But
Yeah.
it was like that entire Studio Ghibli museum was fantastic.
Oh, I can't wait.
And
Oh
again,
my
it's like,
God.
Hey, maybe Dinko. Maybe.
I was
If
waiting for you to see that, Diz. I was waiting for you to see that.
Uh-oh. What do you say now?
it was like, oh my, Diz, you need to dub voice for Porco Rosso.
Big old pig dude.
That's just rude, dude.
But
Chat. Well, you did call him a simp over the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, Diz,
Yeah.
you called him a
Yeah.
That's stab back, right?
but
Oh, you know what? Speaking
it's
of
the fact that Ghibli do
ooh,
all kinds of genres, like Grave of the Fireflies, one of the most depressing films of all time, but it's a truly beautiful, brilliantly told story
Yep.
about two kids stuck in a
World
time
War II
of
Japan.
war.
Mm.
right.
And,
Was it World War II?
Yeah,
That's the only Ghibli movie I think I've never actually seen any parts of. So
I haven't seen it either, but I heard amazing things about it.
But yeah, and then you get the other side of Ghibli, which is pure chaotic awesomeness. That is Pompoko, about the Tanukis, where it's just like
the big ball raccoons.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about a whole bunch of shape-changing
After
raccoons.
Tex learned what Tanuki means in Japanese.
Yeah, and they all have their balls hanging out, and then there's this crazy scene where they all jump off like a building or a hill or something, and then their balls fold over their legs, and then they grab them and use their testicles as kites. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And they're all just floating through the air with their testicle parachutes, and you're like, this is insane.
This is quality children television, you know?
Yeah, this is the same company that made Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah. Oh man, they have they go from extremes, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but I think that's like part of the culture in Japan. It's very like, I don't know how to describe it. It's very modest at most points, and then there's like this whole like in anime, you know, characters are like, oh kawaii, senpai noticed me, and there's other characters that are like, I'm gonna blow shit up, like, yeah, right. Yeah, I love that. But yeah, just like shit like that, and I love that. That it just reflects that kind of culture, just of how they create, how anime is created, and how it's just a thing. It just reflects the culture of Japan and what it is. And I don't know. I don't know how to even describe the hell I'm saying, honestly. But it's I don't know. It's just really cool. Actually, I was listening earlier when you were talking about the Studio Ghibli museum and how amazing it is. That was like what I went through when I went to the Harry Potter studio in London. I guess not London. It's north, I think. I'm not too sure. Someone's gonna
just
I think it's London, isn't it?
Is it still London technically?
Yeah, it's still London. Yeah.
The outer ring. That's all I know. It's on one of the outer rings of the transit.
The outer ring, so it's definitely central.
Okay, so around
outer rings here.
Hey, awesome.
I'm very outer ring.
Oh, really?
He's out. He's literally nowhere near London.
You're like the dingleberry hanging off the pube that is.
I'm a good 180 miles, nearly 200 miles out of London, so yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, that's kind of what this felt like. This whole bus ride and like adventure to get to the bus, then it takes you to where it's incredible. I loved it. But at one point, you go through it, and there is almost like not like a life-size model, but a very, very large, huge, maybe like 20-foot high model of Hogwarts. And you start at the top, and then they have this like spiral walkway. And I remember I was there with a friend. This is when I was doing my Euro trip a few years ago. And our last stop was London and in England and bumming around there before we went home. And she went ahead because there's a section where it's all about the wands, and each wand has a box, and on the box has somebody who was part of the team of creating Harry Potter, and this is like their name on a plaque kind of thing. It was incredible. So I was reading all these names and stuff, and she runs ahead, and then she runs back because it's behind a curtain, and she was like, "Oh my god, like close your eyes. I have to show you like the coolest thing ever." I'm like, "Oh my god, okay." Like I to this day love my friend for doing this. Miss Cassandra, I love you so much for doing this for me. She made me close my eyes, and she pulled back the curtain. She goes, "Okay, stand here as like a railing. Okay, open your eyes." And it was I bawled my eyes out, like just weeping, just full out ugly. Like even I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. It's a beautiful moment. And I remember like that feeling of like, holy shit, this is my childhood. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to when I'm going to see the whole Studio Ghibli museum, is having that like holy shit moment. And everyone's been telling me who has gone, they said, yeah, you get those. Like you see something in that museum and it hits. And then there's text going, I don't know what we're talking about. But
no, I went to the Ghibli museum, but again, I've only ever seen parts of Ghibli movies, so
The thing that I find both brilliant and also annoying about the museum, not only do you have to enter a lottery to get tickets because they only release a certain number, but they have a cinema in the museum where there are, I think it's a total of 5. I might be wrong. It's somewhere between 3 and 5 15-minute films exclusively made for that museum. You can only see them there.
Oh, you're talking about Ghibli, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only show one per day. So you go there, you see your one film, which lasts about 15 minutes, and it's brilliant. It's such a beautiful little story that really means nothing, but it's Ghibli, so you love it.
What do you mean? I learned so much about caterpillars in my movie.
But for all you know, if you go back, say, the next day, if you're lucky enough to have multiple tickets for multiple days, it could be the same film you see again. You just don't know what film plays on what day. There's no schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a random one. But I've heard that they did when I went, they were doing, I think that week they did all the movies on different days. So if you were crazy enough to have a ticket to go back to get it, you would have got they give you a strip with it's like the film of it, and
it's like a little film reel from one of the movies. Which I still have mine.
I've still got mine as well.
I have mine. So it was like you that time I went, you could have got all of them back to back, but that would have been, I would have missed out on other parts of Japan.
Right, that's the thing, and that's what I'm like trying to figure out. It's right. That's what I'm thinking. Like, now that I'm like, okay, we're booking it. It's funny because I have always mixed reviews. I'm like, I'm booking this effing trip. Like, fuck it, we're doing it. And then I have other friends, actually the TLG crew. They're like, do you understand what's going on right now? Is this going to still be happening next year? And I'm like, I'm willing to take the risk. It's for $600 a round trip. It's a quarter of the price from here in Canada to Japan. I'm gonna take a risk and maybe lose $600, but it will be worth it. So
just get it insured, and then you're not going to lose that $600.
Yeah,
right? Exactly. That's kind of what I'm going to look into. And then also a friend of mine who I was planning it with, we recently may have today gotten a little tipsy at patio, had some beers this afternoon, and he was telling me how cheers. I wish this was vodka. He was telling me how we are probably not going to have any health insurance for COVID. So if we go over, we're taking a risk. If we do get for some reason sick in another country, there's no insurance. So good luck.
Yeah, because I think technically a pandemic comes under an act of God, which no one insures for.
Right, which is like understandably so. But this is Japan, a round trip for $600. Like, I might just take the risk and mask up. I've already am a very big germaphobe. Actually, it's a big kind of weird thing I do. I've always cleaned my hands, and I'm obsessed with like always. As a massage therapist as well as my full-time job, like I'm constantly scrubbing my arms up to almost my shoulders all the time, and learning now that like, how do I describe it? Like, why weren't places having these standards of cleanliness before? I don't know, and it rocks my world that people aren't like.
I always wondered, like it's not just Japan; it's all of Asia. If you're ill, it's not mandatory, but it's respect that you wear a mask when you go out,
right?
Because you don't want to spread it. But here, or America, or just anywhere that's not Asia, it's like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna find the nearest baby. I'm gonna cuff my lungs out,
right,
all over that little shit.
Yeah, it's like like here in Toronto, we are probably one of, like, London, I'm sure, is very similar. I don't know. I feel like us Canadians and us like UK people, we're very, very similar. We rub shoulders, but we're very multicultural. We have like hundreds of thousands of people from everywhere in the world. Like, you walk down the street in Toronto, you're seeing literally every kind of person from anywhere in the world. It's incredible. Like, I love how multicultural my city is. It's so beautiful. And I'm dating a guy who's Jamaican and Ukrainian. So like, if that doesn't say like multicultural.
I used to work with a guy who was Irish and Colombian. His accent, what
the heck?
He had both twangs. It was beautiful. When he spoke, it was like butter.
Incredible. I have family in Wales, and I have family in Belfast. It's where I'm kind of from. Family history. I'm second generation Canadian, And I hear some of my aunts and uncles sometimes, and I'm like, that is incredible. I wish I could have some sort of accent instead of just stupid, like, white bitch. You know what I mean? Like, anything would be really nice other than what I have. Oh, but yeah, no. So it's just, I don't know. Just being in Toronto, having a lot of multiculturalism is just amazing. So you see a lot of like exchange students who come from Asia, and they always have the masks on. And it's funny because in Toronto, people are like, "Oh, they have masks. That means they're sick." And it's like, well, so was that other jerk right across the subway from you, who's also hacking up a lung. But you're scared of the students who have masks on, who are trying to be respectful and not trying to get you sick. Like, how does that make sense? So I was totally in for it. When everyone's like, we have to wear masks and gloves and like suit up and wash your damn hands. I'm like, it's about time. Like, welcome to my world.
Yeah, the fact that you have to tell adults to wash their fucking hands is just
and
like...
how to do it in
And
the
how to.
end, the end, the
You have
end.
to sing happy birthday twice was our thing.
Come on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's because maybe I'm in healthcare, or I'm like, it's my dad has also, he travels the world for what he does for work, or he used to at least. And he has been to Asia like 1,000 times. He's so like germaphobe, and he's gotten a lot of his practices from Asia and how clean they are and how they respect each other and how they don't, the modesty of, I don't want to get you sick, so I'm going to protect myself from you. I'm protecting you from me. And he taught me that. And being in Canada, just growing up was so confusing that, like, before lunch, all these, kids would, eat their lunches. And I'm like, I have to go wash my hands before I eat. And everyone's like, you're just a kid. Like, go eat with your dirty hands. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, that's not my brain. The geekers were like, no, like, that's not how. So everyone now that's like, oh, we have to clean movie theaters and like have to do all these things. I'm like, why was that never a standard before? Like, what the frig? Polite. I don't know.
Now she reigns in the language.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I swear now. I didn't know you guys.
No. Come on, Val. You need to go stab a bitch over there.
Let it all out. Let it all out.
Elmo, Mario Party 3 shit, and I'll show you guys how to wash your hands.
Wow.
See, I really want to get that stream going where it's either Pummel Party or Dead by Daylight. I really want to get everyone involved on that.
Both.
Like,
both.
Pummel Party would probably be the one I'd go for. Dead by Daylight, I'm like, nah, just
Yeah, that's not your thing, is it? So that's
If
fine.
you want to get a lot of people, it would have to be Mario Kart.
Dead by Daylight has to be limited anyway, so
I think, isn't Dead by Daylight like
5 people max.
Yes. Is it? Wait, is it 4? Oh,
Four
four
survivors, 1 killer.
100. Yeah, that's it.
So Pummel Party is what, 8?
8.
How many can you have in Mario Kart? 12?
12.
Is it 12? What was 16?
12.
What was
No.
the one I thought was 16?
Mm.
There was one multiplayer game. I thought there was 16. I thought it was Mario Kart.
No, I think there's only 12 in a race, isn't there?
Yeah, 12.
I think it's only 12, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, I want to get people involved in that. So.
I think Pummel Party would be a good one to start with.
Yeah, I've got some rage I need to unleash. We should do some Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Ooh, I'm just thinking.
Well, this-
I would say TC versus TLG, but there's a blurred line between who's on which side.
Yeah, between a couple people, yeah.
We're
Yeah,
all part
This-
of each other's community. Yeah, go on.
really.
Go
I think you're commingled and, what's that? Incestual.
Oh, wow.
We're all just related, at this point.
Well, there's the title of the post-show video.
All related.
We're all related.
Yeah, as I was trying to say,
We're all like in each other's like shit. We're all in each other's like communities and stuff. So it's like,
well, I'm pretty sure after Mario Kart, we're all going to be in each other's faces. So
I
there we
know,
go.
right? Hello.
Yeah, Diz, as I was trying to say, I'm pretty sure if you've got some rage to release, I think maybe Baby Park, or
Bombs
all
only, Baby
bombs,
Park,
bombs
yeah.
only. Yeah,
Baby Park, bombs only.
is rage-inducing
It's
for
so-
Diz.
Oh
it
my
is
God.
so
It's
good.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Oh, I'm so
Let's get this sorted.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I'd have to actually remember how to set up my Switch for streaming now. I haven't put that onto stream for I think since I finished.
Seems to be probably the last
Zelda.
Mario Kart.
No, I was playing Zelda.
Oh,
after
okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I literally did Zelda, what did I do? I did Stardew Valley, then Zelda, and then I went to Japan, and then I haven't turned my Switch back on since. And I was like, it's been a while.
Maybe the dust that it's collecting. Maybe I should brush that off and touch it.
Well, mine's in the case. Mine's in the case, luckily. So I probably should attempt to, clear it off.
Touch it. No, that was like me with my Animal Crossing Switch. I have this half regret of dropping that much money on a second Switch. But however, because it is limited edition and is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life, it is a sad thing because now it just sort of sits in my living room as this trophy, and everyone's like, "You should play it. You should have like another island." So I got the next
trophy. No,
it's kind of a trophy, but people are like, "There's people who can't afford a Switch, and you have two." And I'm like,
explain the finesse.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so cute and so bougie, but I am gonna start playing it like that. I need to start cracking some, I gotta wear out those buttons a little bit. I think of that. I gotta do it.
To be fair, you're not the only one that's got two Switches, so meh.
Oh, thank God, because I'm like,
yeah, let's not
go.
But to be fair, I have a reason for my second one.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Moneybags. With your how many VR sets do you have as well?
2. Second's on its way.
2 Switches, two VR headsets.
Wow. I don't have a lot of
2
consoles.
copies of Pokemon.
Well, when you get the collectors, you kind of gotta, yeah.
Oh, that's what it was behind you. I'm like, I think that's what I think it is, but I'm not sure.
Well,
but I'm just gonna keep
I also got the Wind Waker's edition as well.
Oh my God. Okay, so Wind Waker out of all the Zelda games is actually like my diehard favorite.
Oh, sorry, it's not Wind Waker, it's Link's Awakening. My bad.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna correct
That
but-
actually just crashes. You forget that.
but I love Breath of the Wild, and like we all said, it's all a 10 out of 10. But Wind Waker has this there's a spot in my heart for Wind Waker, and it's so special, and I can't even describe it. I just love Wind Waker so much, and anything Wind Waker related, I'm like all over it constantly.
Yeah, Wind Waker was my first proper Zelda itself, because I got that on the GameCube, and it was the gold edition that also came with Ocarina of Time, and that was the first time I played that as well.
Oh, that's awesome! I have the same thing. Ow.
Yeah, I had that, unfortunately.
You didn't sell it and got a freaking Wii, did you? I swear to God.
No.
That's another story.
No. I actually got my Wii. I got my Wii on the Christmas of launch, and it was when they were severely understocked. Literally everywhere was constantly out of stock.
Woman for her. Yep.
My mom and dad were basically the same, but they were adamant that entire from launch to Christmas, they were adamant to me that they could not get one, and that they would try and get me one for my birthday a couple of weeks later.
Right.
They managed to get me one, and it has to this day been the only year that I have ever cried at Christmas because I was that damn happy.
So amazing! Oh, I love.
Because just before launch, they came to Birmingham, and they did the Zelda demo for people that wanted to play it, and I got to play it before launch. So, and I loved it. I fell in love, and yeah, Twilight Princess.
That's amazing.
That's nice.
I remember it got so much shit on it because of the different cartoony style of it, and everyone was shitting on it when it was coming out. Like, look how stupid that game is. When you play it, it is like a Zelda game through on through. Such a beginning to end is just so freaking amazing. It's one of those games where it's one of those Zelda ones where the storyline is so strong in it, and it's constantly in your face. Do the story, and the freaking boat talking things screaming at you to do stuff, and you're like, okay. So I really liked that, and I think that was my expectation for Breath of the Wild. So not kind of having that, I think, was the only drawback, maybe just for me personally, because again, it is a 10 out of 10 game, don't get me wrong, but if that storyline was just pushed a little bit more in my face, I still kind of don't really know the story behind Breath of the Wild. I just know I had to go to all these big machine things and kick this creepy Booga dude's ass, and that was about it. Then let's go fight Ganon. The same sort of story arc of all Zelda games.
Basically,
However-
bad guy sprays evil cum on everything, and
Oh,
Link
dude.
Babies.
has-
He's not
has
wrong
to-
though.
No, he's not. But still,
evil cum.
Wow.
And Link
I
is the
mean-
good guy, repairs the evil cum, turns the evil cum back into good cum, and people are like,
It was
yay.
good or bad. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I may have had some experiences that can attune to that, but that's my OnlyFans title now. is,
That was that'd be your OnlyFans, yeah.
Demon.
Oh my word. Okay, I think everyone's starting to slowly run out of steam here. Val, I thank you very much for being here for the post show.
I'm talking about evil cum. I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
Oh, no. I don't even know him to be the streamer who talks about this. Is this how we're cutting it up?
I am gonna have nightmares.
Yeah. Well, no, you
I
probably
know,
have
here we
fantasies.
go.
Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But this has been the post show for the Crusader podcast. Val, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Diz,
Thank you so
Senpai,
much,
Tex,
Val.
it's always a pleasure, guys. Everyone in the chat, we appreciate you for being here. Hopefully, we'll see you
Absolutely.
again soon for the next episode. But yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you all soon. With that being said, we are out. Bye bye, everyone.
Peace.